everybody. This is Scott. It's been such a long time since I talked to you all, but I got on this podcast. Wanted to say hi to everybody. This is the Scott Show Wrestling Show. We do talk about wrestling here on this channel. We haven't done it for a really, really long time. I had a lot of stuff going on, both professionally and personally. Just a lot of crap. But I did want to get on here. It was one of the biggest independent wrestling shows of all time yesterday. All In from Chicago in the Sears Center. I wanted to give it a review. Some of the stuff I'm going to give big time thumbs up, and then sometimes not so much. So we're going to get to the All In review, but first I wanted to say hello to everyone. We're going to be doing lots more podcasts. We got a lot of growing going on with the stuff that we're doing. 10, 25, 50, still rocking it. We're still doing a lot of awesome, really cool things. So if you guys want to see this thing blow up, it is thescottshow.com. Check it out, and we'll send our love your way. So just, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on SoundCloud, we're everywhere where you can hear us. We're going to be promoting a lot more here in the very near future, so give us a shout out. We will have some guests coming up on the show, but today it's just me, Scott, talking about All In, this big wrestling pay-per-view. And it was huge. It was 10,000 people in the Sears Center in Chicago, Illinois. We're going to start out, first of all, with 0 Hour, their TV show. So they got an hour at WGN. I don't know how they got an hour, but for whatever reason, they got an hour on WGN where they could talk about the show coming up and the big pay-per-view. Some things about that I wanted to get you guys in first. A lot of this is coming from cagematch.net, which is the internet web base of all wrestling. So if you're important wrestling out there, then it's on there. So heavy on wrestling here in Minnesota. You're not that important. It says did not come up with your last show. So there you go. You're not important. But All In is important. 0 Hour on TV, WGN. And there you go. Commentary done by Don Callis, the Jackal, the man in Impact right now, and just an overall cool guy. New Japan also does the English dubbing for New Japan. Not the stuff on XSTV, but the stuff on New Japan World. All right, so we started out with a tag team match. Oh, by the way, let me get back to that. Commentary also done by Excalibur, who wrestler, but not that well known of a wrestler, Masked Man. Ian Raboni, I'm not even going to say his last name correctly. He did a decent job. I really got to give him and Don Callis good job. And Excalibur was good too. Dalton Castle was also noted as being on commentary here. I heard him a little bit. Just not impressed with Dalton Castle at all. I don't know how in the world he got the ROH championship, but it is now not on him, and we will talk about that when we get to the main show. So, tag team match, SoCal Uncensored. This was Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. Defeated the Briscoes. I think it was a great opening match for All In itself. Kind of pumped up the crew. So great stuff by both teams, and hey, keep it up. Good stuff. And we got the ROH World Title #1 contendership over the budget Battle Royal. Now I did hear Cody Rhodes talk about how he was kind of running out of money. They were trying to set up everything, get everybody on board, and it's just how it goes. So this was including Trent Beretta, Tommy Dreamer, Rocky Romero, Punishment Martinez, Moose, Marco Stunt, Jordan Grace, Jimmy Jacobs, Hurricane Helms, Ethan Page, Colt Cabana, Chucky T, Cheeseburger, Bully Ray, Brian Cage, Brandon Cutler, Billy Gunn's son Austin, and the Chico Luchador. So want to talk a little bit about this. Billy Gunn's kid looks ripped. Doesn't look as tall as Billy, but I mean, they could be a pretty good tag team. Give Austin Gunn a little bit of something to go with. Brian Cage looked like an absolute beast. Cheeseburger is a skinnier wrestler. He's a lot of opening of the ROH. Interesting kind of wrestler. He was in New Japan Rumble. this last year. But he is not any. He's way time bigger than Marco Stunt. And you put a guy like Ethan Page against Marcos or Brian Cage and Ethan Page, and both of them kind of interesting double names there. You put Marco Stunt next to him, and he doesn't. They look like Marco looks like their lunch. Um, Chucky T doesn't really have any influence either way on me. Just a common looking wrestler. Jimmy Jacobs dressed up like a princess. I don't know what the hell that was about, but whatever. He was trying a new gimmick or something. Punishment Martinez, he looked badass. Gotta say it. I'm gonna swear on the show a little bit. You guys gotta understand. This is my show, the Scott Show. That's what we do here. So I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Tommy Dreamer had the polka dots on for Dusty Rhodes. Trent, yeah, it was Trent. I thought, okay, well, this is how they're going to introduce a new character, or this is how they're going to do something big. Little surprises along the way. Didn't have too many little surprises. I mean, I guess Marco Stunt staying in the match as long as he did was kind of a surprise. Jordan Grace eliminating Brian Cage was just stupid. I don't think they should have had her in there anyway, and it just looked dumb. But I got a lot more to say about how dumb it looked here in the show that we're doing, the Scott Show, wrestling show. Awesome stuff. At the end of the day, Bully Ray got eliminated. He eliminated Colt Cabana. And then Chico El Luchador, who got power bombed into a table before the match, even like 5 seconds in the match by Bully Ray. Eliminated Bully Ray, and Chico Luchador wins the match. Then he unmasks to find out it is none other than Flip Gordon, who has been all over the map recently saying book Flip for this big event. And he got booked. He got booked by himself, though, because he won the Over the Budget Battle Royal. So that was 0 Hour. It was all on WGN. Now we got to the pay-per-view. The first match on the pay-per-view, Matt Cross, M-Dog 20, to those who know him as that, against Maxwell Jacob Freedman. And I got to say, folks, MJF does not disappoint. I think the world of MJF as a wrestler. His gimmick about that he's better than you and you know it. Great gimmick. I mean, the guy's money all day long. I think the only problem is that he lost the match. I think Maxwell Jacob Freedman deserved to win this match over the veteran Matt Cross. Terrible match to start it with. I think they could have done a really better job. And here's the thing. It kind of trips me out that Freedman and somebody else, I think it was Chelsea Green, or I can't remember who it was, won a match in ROH to qualify for All In. And then MJF gets the first match, while here you have Flip Gordon, who couldn't even get on the card, gets the ROH title match. And I think this actually happened on ROH, so I didn't like it. Big time thumbs down for that. I'm going to be kind of critical of the show, so people that want to just hear me be all excited about this whole deal. There will be excitement. Lots of great stuff happen, but at the same time, I'm going to be critical, so just watch out. Singles match, special referee Jerry Lynn. I thought that was cool because Christopher Daniels faced off against Stephen Amell. Stephen Amell, actually a very good, accomplished wrestler. Only 3 matches in, he knows what he's doing. Kind of pumped up about that. So, Stephen Amell loses to one of the greatest wrestlers, independent wrestlers of all time, Christopher Daniels. But special referee Jerry Lynn made sure it was right down the middle, looked good in the ring as being the referee. Then you had the 4-way women's match with Madison Rayne, Chelsea Green, Dr. Britt Baker, and Tessa Blanchard. One thing about Britt Baker, she dates or is dating Adam Cole, who is the former NXT North American champion. So Britt Baker has somebody who was watching it. I did kind of find that a little sad that, later on you had Nick Aldis, who his wife couldn't be there because of course that's WWE's Mickie James. And you have Britt Baker, who Adam Cole couldn't be there, and you have just all these guys who were really excited about this all-in card, and they couldn't be there because, of course, they're contracted with the WWE. So anyway, getting off of that, Madison Rayne was excellent in that, but Chelsea Green kind of stole the show for me. I know that for a while there in Impact, she was known as the Hot Mess Laurel Van Ness, but now she's just going as her real name or however it is. Chelsea Green's a much better name for her anyway. She's absolute hot mess, but really turns it up in the ring and does a great job at it. Britt Baker did all right, but the star of the match, I think, besides Chelsea Green, was the phenomenal Tessa Blanchard. And I only say that, I'm not stealing from AJ, but Tessa Blanchard was absolutely phenomenal in this match. Came to the ring. Her dad was there, Tully Blanchard. Her stepfather was there, Magnum TA. So she has a pedigree unlike any other that you can dream about. I believe even her mom is some super important. She might be a doctor or a lawyer. I don't know. She's some big deal. So really, really cool. I mean, her pedigree is absolutely just out of this world. So Tessa Blanchard wins the match. It's not for any title, but Tessa is the Impact Women's Champion or Knockouts Champion. So there you go. Next match on the card, and this should have been the main event. I'm going to complain about it until I fall over and die. Cody and Nick Aldis for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, the oldest World Heavyweight Championship in existence. Some people say it's a Rio World Championship, but it is the NWA National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight title. And Cody's Ring of Honor, he had a little ring that he did, was on the line. Nick Aldis had it. So it was that big of a deal. It was the collateral for them to be all in. Nick Aldis, a hell of a champion, comes out with Tim Storm and Jeff Jarrett. I think Sean Daivari and a few other folks. And then Cody comes out with Diamond Dallas Page. Comes out with, I'm trying to think of who else was there. Oh, Glacier was there on his side. And there were a few other people, some family members. Of course, Glacier, very, very close with the Rhodes family. As you may know, you may not know, but he's very, very close anyway. Phenomenal match, 22 minutes and 2 seconds. And they do the very famous British Bulldog Bret Hart finish from Wembley Stadium when that title change happened. And yes, I did say it correctly. Title change as Cody Rhodes defeats Nick Aldis and wins the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Now, there would have been a difference if it would have ended and it would have been a main event match. The way it ended, the way the entire event ended, but it was what it was in the card, and it happened the way it did. I'm not happy the way it happened. I would have liked to see it be the main event with Cody winning. I think that the NWA kind of pushed that as, hey, this is the big match. And it was. It was the talk of the wrestling world was Cody Rhodes going for this title. I don't know where the 6-man came from that actually became the main event, but it really wasn't for me. I really didn't care about it. So we'll get to that a little later. Cody Rhodes, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, defeating Nick Aldis in a phenomenal match, and Cody and Dusty Rhodes being the only father and son to hold the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. All right, next match we got here is the Chicago Street Fight Hangman Page. And it says here on a cage match, and I'm going to just let everybody know how it goes. It says Hangman Page defeats Joey Janela with Penelope Ford. It really should say Hangman Page defeats the tag team of Joey Janela and Penelope Ford. It seemed like it was a handicap match. Penelope Ford actually did more work than Joey Janela. Joey Janela, for all intents and purposes, and I'm going to swear here, just looks like a little bitch. So Hangman Page, this match should have taken 20 minutes and 9 seconds. The only reason that Janela lasted that long is because Penelope Ford interfered and actually did a lot more of the work. One of the high spots of the match, Hangman Page power bombs Janela off of the um, stuff that they have, the ramp quotations that they have, and power bombs him to a table. Looked like he died. Unfortunately, he got up though for all the fans because you know Joey Janela is just a piece of crap, and so Penelope Ford though, I mean, she got to find herself a real man. If you listen to Penelope, hi, Joey Janela is a piece of shit. But Hangman Page, awesome wrestler. They could have gave him somebody better than Joey the Jobber Janela. That'll be his new name. Joey Jobber got defeated by Hangman Page. Now, at the end of this match, and I'm going to be as mean as humanly possible for the next few seconds. So people who don't like me mean, come back in 1 minute, 5 seconds from what we are talking about here. Hangman Page did something on Being the Elite on the Young Bucks TV show or the internet show and killed Joey Ryan. And to all of our fans' dismay, Joey Ryan didn't actually die. So in saying that, they had this thing where his boots were, the spirit of Joey Ryan were in his boots, and it was a big thing, and they played it up, and it was whatever, and he came out like the Undertaker, and had druid dicks, big giant guys, or not even giant guys because they all look like. Okay, if you wanted somebody to be a giant guy, you couldn't have Joey Ryan out there because he's not a giant guy. But they had druids that were dressed up as large penises out there and came out and beat up Hangman Page. Now, Page, you not only, and this is to Hangman Page himself, you not only got beat up by a girl, Penelope Ford, who, whatever, I still don't like it. They do mixed tag team matches in WWE, but, women fight women, men fight men. You got beat up by pathetic Joey Ryan. So your stock went down like a lot. Hangman Page, I'm very disappointed that you did that. I thought you're going to be a good wrestler, but come on. You got beat up by Penelope Ford and Joey freaking Ryan. I'm ashamed of the people who did the All In show, that they had the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, the title upon titles, and then you have Joey Ryan come out with a bunch of dicks. I just thought it was the absolute silliest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm trying to talk to somebody today about the show and said, "Oh, here's what happened," and I said, "I'm embarrassed to tell you the rest." So I would be embarrassed. I would want my money back if I was there. Unfortunately, there were a bunch of people that liked that kind of stuff, and for those kind of people who like that stuff, hey, good for you. But grow up. These third grade people who like this crap, you're ruining it for everybody else. Hangman Page, I hope that All In 2 happens and you beat the hell out of Joey Ryan. But if you take that dick flip spot again, you're not as good as Joey the Jobber Janela. So there you go. So very disappointed Hangman Page. He probably had a great push in Japan until he got pitched out in this thing. ROH World Title match. Jay Lethal came out as Black Machismo, came out with the Macho Man's actual jacket, given to him by Leaping Lanny Poffo, who brought him to the ring. He defeated Flip Gordon, who won the earlier over-budget Battle Royal, defeating Brandy Rhodes. Brandy Rhodes is with Flip Gordon. Sometimes in these things I get a little confused when I'm trying to read, especially when I'm pissy. But Jay Lethal defeats Flip Gordon. It was a good match, 14 minutes. Bully Ray came out later, beat everybody up. And then Lethal, Flip Gordon, and Colt Cabana, because they wanted to get somebody with the big pop, did the Shield powerbomb onto Bully Ray. So they all got together and it was cool. The singles match, Kenny Omega versus Penta El Zero M or Pentagon Jr. 17 minutes, 47 seconds. Good match between two people who probably deserve to put a good match on. Kenny Omega is ultra super talented. I actually love watching him wrestle, and this was a great match. So Kenny Omega deserves to be number one in the PWI 500, defeating a Pentagon Junior or Penta L0M or however you want to say it. Great match. You guys deserve all the credit in the world, but not as much as the match after that. Kikuchi, I can't even say it. I do apologize to Mr. Okada. Akucha Okada. You just call him Okada, or you can call him the former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. He defeated Marty Scurll, and that's another one hard to say too. Okada versus the Villain. Let's go that way. It was a great match anyway. 26 minutes 7 seconds. It could have been shorter. Yes, that's cool. It was the best match probably of the night besides Cody and Nick, just because I liked the NWA World Heavyweight Championship match. And I actually liked when Hangman Page threw Janela off the thing, and it looked like he died because I was cheering for that to happen. Not that I was cheering for him to die, but get mutilated in some terrible and awful way. Whatever. Okada beat Marty, the Villain. It was great. These guys need to fight again. Definitely, this could have been the main event because the main event of the entire evening was an absolute abysmal abomination. I've taken better craps than the main event match of this thing uh, for a few reasons, and that's because of Matt and Nick Jackson. I know they put this on. All In was their idea. Good for them. Good, and they've got some business smarts. I mean, they can go out there and make some money when it comes to business. But them as far as them wrestlers, they look like two 13-year-olds. Again, I'm going to give them more credit because looking like 13-year-olds, and they're probably in their 30s or whatever. I don't know how old they are, and I also don't care. But they are the Young Bucks, or as Matt Hardy calls them, the Bucks of Youth. I just wish that it was deer hunting season so they would be shot. And I don't mean that. I just mean that they're bucks and ha ha ha. But I really don't like the Young Bucks. I don't like their wrestling. I think that they're terrible. Unfortunately, Kota Ibushi had to cover for their and Matt and Nick Jackson. As much as I despise them, and whatever. They're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. They come out, they do this pose where they're not heavyweights, even though they're the IWGP World Heavyweight Champions, Tag Team Champions. Obviously, the wrestling's fixed. When you see these two guys come out and as the heavyweight champions, they defeated Bandito, Rey Fenix, and Rey Mysterio. That means probably Rey Mysterio's out and about going to go to WWE. Bandito should. He looked amazing. A lot of people thought he was Neville. I thought Neville was going to come out and do his thing or something. You got to realize a few things when it comes to this. First of all, this is not a promotion. This is a one-off. Matt and Nick Jackson paid for this, so obviously they paid to go over because for anybody to actually take them seriously is a joke. Kota Ibushi is the real star here. But hey, Matt and Nick Jackson, I'm gonna talk to you guys straight up and real, okay? Retire and go into promotion. You obviously did a good job getting 10,000 people into this all-in thing. You'd be great promoters. Go for it, guys. You guys are probably smart. But as far as wrestlers, you suck balls. And probably Joey Ryan's balls quite a lot, and good for you because that would be gross. So I don't know what venereal disease you guys have from getting Joey Ryan on the card, but it is what it is. And I was disappointed not to see Rey Mysterio do more stuff and actually have a good match. Bandito is the superstar here, man. He just showed up, had to carry Matt and Nick Jackson to a decent match. They deserve sainthood. So that was my little shot on All In. I'm probably not going to have the most popular of thoughts, especially when it comes to the Golden Elite and the Young Bucks. I just think they're god awful terrible. The main event should have been for the NWA World Title. If this was the promotion, Hangman Page and Janela should have been for some hardcore championship or something, because Hangman Page is good, except he got beat up by Penelope Ford, and then he got beat up by Joey Ryan. So he went from being this great New Japan wrestler to absolute, garbage. And I'm sorry that Hangman Page loses a lot of credibility, but just don't do stupid shit, and then stupid shit won't follow you. He should have wrestled somebody way better. Don't give him a jobber next time. Um, MJF should have been way higher up in the card than that. So that was All In. That was my thoughts on All In. Anyway, you could share your thoughts. I'm sure that I'll have it on YouTube, everywhere else, and check us out. It is thescottshow.com. There will be lots more stuff coming. We are 102550 brand. We are coming up with the Sugar High podcast. Really cool stuff coming up here. So check us out online. Scott Show Wrestling Show. We'll have more stuff very, very soon. And we'll see you guys later. Have a great rest of your day. And happy Labor Day to all you folks as well. Have a great one, and we'll see you soon.